wasn't the way you guys kind of envisioned this ending this weekend down here. Just what are the emotions like right now?
Yeah, this group, we've been fighting hard because we didn't want the season to end. We got a great group, as you heard me say a million times, and these guys want to keep playing, and that was a good team we played. We knew that, and I thought they played really good. And our game plan, we were loading up on Bryce, and those other guys stepped up big. Those were crucial shots they made, and it's a bit of a pick your poison, and those guys were good enough to get it done. And they're so well coached, the way they guard and their game plan. They really caused us some problems the first half. I thought we got in a better flow. Only had one turnover in the second half. So we got a little bit going there, but they answered when we would make a run. They'd answer them pretty good. And, we had a couple key possessions there with about 4 or 5 minutes to go that if we had a couple rattle in and out, if those go in, now all of a sudden you got a chance to make it a nail biter at the end.
Gary was, 31%. He goes 4 for 4, and then as a team, they're 240th in three-point percentage. They go 12 of 19.
Right.
Just them being hot shooting today.
Yeah, and they're hoopers. I've watched them a lot because Fred's a dear friend, and I always thought, when I watched them, Gary was kind of the X factor, underappreciated, and he does a lot of things, kind of the unplanned activity buckets that, you do a good job in a possession, they kick it out to Gary, he makes a three, and that was a big key because we were cooking at the start. We were playing really good, and they I thought Gary had some big buckets then to keep things, within 6, 7, that kind of thing. He's a really good player and maybe an underappreciated player. But like I said, I've watched them a lot this year, and he's one of those guys. And those guys are the guys that do the unplanned things, where they're not maybe getting a ton of plays run for them, but they just make plays and they go make things happen. Great offensive rebounder. He's been pretty consistent. I think, if you really had a deep dive into that team, not having a week to prepare for him, but if you did a deep dive into him, you'd know that he's kind of when he plays good, I bet they've won most every game. That's probably what you'd find.
Tyson, over the last 4 years, you became Boise State basketball. Pretty much represented everything that it's about. What are your emotions right now, bud, as you wear that jersey for the final time?
Well, it's hard knowing this day was coming either today or tomorrow. I'm just thankful. That's just, not a lot of people get to do this, and to have a great coaching staff for 4 years and great teammates, I'm forever grateful.
Could you ever imagine, I know that you'd rather set records than wins, but you're the career scoring record holder, set the single scoring record today. You went to 3 NCAA tournaments. You ended up with 99 career victories. Did you ever think that it would all amount to this when you committed to travel down to Boise State to be a Bronco?
When it's all said and done, I don't think I would have thought that as a 16-year-old committing here. And ever since that day, I've always known it's been the right decision. And these last 4 years have just made it like set in stone that this was the place for me. So I'm just forever grateful for everything. And it sucks losing your last game, but a lot of teams end their season on the last game. It's like 4. You got the NIT, this tournament, the NCAA tournament, and like the CIT. Like 4 teams out of 364 end with a win. So it's obviously hard right now, but I'm pretty at peace.
We asked young players at the end of their career what they took from the college career and their coaching staff. What did you learn from that young man to your life?
God, where do I start? That's the problem with Tyson. There's so many things you can talk about. I think the consistency, I've never met a guy that's more consistent day in, day out, regardless circumstances, regardless of what happens, good or bad. The basketball season's up and down, and, the adversity you go through, and places you got to go play, and the travel, and their students, and all the things. I've never seen a more consistent person in my life, and that's hard. That's hard, especially as, you know, a student athlete, with all the things they go through and so much that's put on them to be able to handle it the way he handles it. I mean, I could go on about 10 to 20 things, and I think Al will say the same thing. And, oh, Peanut's here. I just thought it was Al. Yeah. So, but I would like to hear what Peanut has to say about that too. But just, you know, he's been in our program for 8, 9 years because, you know, we watched him all these years. He came to our camps. He played with my sons. He, you know, represented our program and all the things he did for all the student athletes, all the people in Boise, what he's meant to this place. You just can't, I mean, he set a standard that really, really got through to all the other players, and we all learned a lot from him. So just grateful to have had these 4 years getting to coach him. You know, it was one of those big part of why we played in this. I wanted to extend our time together, this career together, and, you know, you just never want it to end when you get this special group and a guy like Tyson. So he talks about being grateful. I think everybody in Bronco Nation, and myself included, is pretty darn grateful.
That being said, with the complexion of college basketball in 2025,
Right.
it's very hard to define loyalty, or at least
Unique.
when it comes to certain players, right?
Right.
He easily could have been a blue blood somewhere, whether it's NIL or collective money, whatever it may be.
Well, he was at Boise State. He was, yes.
I bleed
Right.
blue. We
Yes,
bleed blue
that's
over
right.
here.
There you go.
Thank you.
So he was, and, you know, it's important when you're having a great experience and when you're enjoying what you do and you stick with that, it makes you great. When you know, I remember somebody told me a long time ago, and it stuck with me forever. If you take a job for money, you're going to earn every cent. Well, it's that way in the portal. If you're just, I'm going to leave where I'm happy and mess that up and take the money, you're going to earn every cent. And I think you're seeing that throughout college basketball. I've seen some post-game press conferences of kids that have done that, and it was hard on them. And they traded happiness and a great basketball experience for money. And I'm not judging. I'm not saying it was wrong for them. Each situation is different, but there's a price. And if your decision's solely based on that, then you're gonna earn every dollar you make. And that's a great, you know, Tyson's a great lesson. I think he had an amazing career. Like you said, he's got an NCAA tournament every year. He's contended for championships every year. He's been an all-conference player. He's got the greatest teammates, the greatest administration that supports him, that takes care of him, helps him in every turn. And, you know, it's just been an amazing symbiotic relationship that he's had with our entire state and everybody in Bronco Nation and all that. So, you know, it's always a trade-off, and I'm just grateful that I had the 4 years and we had the 4 years with Tyson.
Tyson, in terms of just leaving a place better than when you got here, just when you think about the 4 years of your career here and what you know, the future of this program going into next season, you know, without you, how do you kind of look big picture at the program here?
The program's in a great spot. Made the postseason you know, I don't know how many years, but we made the tournament 3 times in a row and came to this tournament. Like, it's in a great spot. You know, we're flying private more. It's a credit to the administration and the way that Jeremiah and Cody all fundraise and get all these donations to help us. And you know, I'm just hoping that this program continues to rise in college basketball and be one of the best programs on the west side of the United States.
Pearson, for you, just, you know, what would you take this year getting to play alongside a guy like Tyson, and how, I guess, motivated are you for what's ahead for you here?
I mean, like he said, I'm just grateful I was able to play with him. My year obviously didn't start out how I wanted it to, but I mean, just being able to, you know, be in a program where every player and every coach trusts you, I mean, you're grateful. And I mean, Tyson's like Coach said, like, he is Boise State. Like, he walks around downtown like it's Tyson, and just him being able to like take me under his wing like meant a lot to me because I've never really had that before. And he's just an older brother that that I needed, and it's just helped me develop my game.
I know you're probably not wanting to think about next year, but just going into the off season for you, getting this experience now and the last couple of months, just what's kind of your mindset here? Is you obviously going to have a bigger role in this team moving forward here?
Yeah, I haven't really thought much about next year. I was kind of looking forward to one more game with these guys, but I think next year we're fine. We're super motivated. I mean, Tyson and Omar Al, they showed the way, and we just need to follow their footsteps. If we do that, I think we'll be in a great spot. And our coaches are, they trust us, we trust them, and I trust them that they'll get us where we want to be.
Pearson, you mentioned he's like a big brother, and his persona in Boise. What's an invaluable lesson deep inside that you've taken, that you'll take with you next year from Tyson?
I mean, there's so many things I've taken from him. It's not even a lesson, but just one thing I take from him is just how great of a man he is off the court. I mean, obviously he's a baller on the court, but you see this guy off the court, like he talks to everybody. He's not like I'm so big time, like I am Tyson Degenhart. It's like you can come talk to me, take pictures, like just a great human, and that's just one thing I've taken from him.
Good question.
Ian, I know it's disappointing you plan not going to the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
What do you think of this venue, though? It's the first time in Las Vegas, the two venues that you got to play in.
Oh.
Crown tournament overall.
Terrific. And everything, as I looked around every corner and every day that we got to be here, it was just a first-class operation. And I knew it would be because I knew who was running it and who was in charge of it. And Fox did an amazing job with this. And it was kind of exactly what we needed, I think, for our team. But I was so impressed. I think it's going to take off. It's a great concept. And to have it this good in the first year is impressive, really impressive. Because that's hard. Sometimes there's going to be blind spots. You don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to work out. And it seems like every ground ball was ran out, and I couldn't be more impressed. So I want to thank everybody involved in this tournament because we were treated so great and first class all the way, and that's what you want because that's what these teams deserve, and that's what these young men deserve, and that's what we got. So I couldn't be more pleased. I could have been more pleased if we would have won one more game or two more games, but I don't think they could control that. So. But we're so happy and grateful to have got this opportunity, so thanks so much.
For just the young core that you have coming back and
Yeah.
the additions you could make in the portal and things, just
Sure.
how do you feel big picture going into the offseason next year?
So great because the standard, each team sets a standard and example, and then it's these guys' job, we're passing it to some more great ones that, and their job is to be better. And that's quite a standard to live up to, and that's what they want. That's why they come to Boise. So that next group can do things the other group hasn't done, and that's why we love milestones in our program. I mean, we played more games than any other team. We won 26 games, I think, and all those great things that you do. You're always like, oh, that was the first time you did this. That was first, and it's their job to exceed what the previous group did, and we've got some great young ones that have bright futures, and that we can build on, and a great nucleus and a core, and we're gonna we protect who gets to come into this program, and we will only have the right guys because there's a lot going on in this world of that, but one thing we always protect is who gets to be in our locker room with us because it's a sacred. It means everything to Tyson, and we want those guys to be proud of it, all our alumni, and they are. There's a bunch of them here. There's, and we it's our job to keep growing this program, and that's what we're going to do.
As you wear that uniform for the final time, do you have a message for Bronco Nation at all? So what might that be?
Just thank you, for embracing me, embracing my family. You know, every person that came up and talked to my family was super nice and welcoming, and I'm just super thankful.
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.